become the official Abbott HQ in Cypress, Texas. And in addition to that, this is where Republicans go to get fired up to win elections, because we were here last November with Ted Cruz and Wesley Hunt. Senator Kolkhorst was with me, and man, y'all were awesome. And I think they almost called the police on us, except the police were already here because they were helping us out. So while we're waiting for Governor Abbott, I heard we were like less than 2 minutes out. I do want to give a shout out to all my friends in blue with Precinct 4, Constable's Office. Thank you all for all you do to keep us safe. They are our primary law enforcement in Tomball and Cypress, and we wouldn't be a community without them. So grateful to you. I think we're about to be, our guest of honor is here. Yeah! Governor Abbott, welcome back to Cypress, Texas. We were just remarking that we believe that this should be Abbott HQ in Cypress, Texas, HQ 2.0. I would love to represent you in the legislature. That would really make me very happy. We are the reddest area in the county. We know you have big plans for us. And so we are ready to get out the vote. We are ready to work hard. We're ready to hear from you, get some inspiration. I think my duty as we get started here is to quickly introduce some of the elected officials who are here with us. Of course, our guest of honor, Governor Greg Abbott. We have our Texas Comptroller, Kelly Hancock. I'm going to do the first two girls. Yeah. We have Senator Lois Kolkhorst. You are in her Senate district, and you are standing right here, so welcome to the southern part of the district. We have State Representative Lacy Hull. We have my next door neighbor, State Representative Mike Schofield. Yeah. And we have State Representative Valerie Swanson. I'm going to hand it off to Marty Langton, who's going to introduce our candidates. Welcome to Cypress, y'all.
Yeah. Always the technical issues. Thank you all so much for being here today. It means a lot. It shows the power of the Republican Party to come together so that we can flip Harris County. My name is Marty Langton. I'm going to be your next Harris County judge. We're not going to tolerate people that are soft on crime. We're going to stand with law enforcement. We're going to increase public safety. We're going to increase transparency. We're going to get rid of the corruption. We want to thank you all for coming out today to listen to the governor that has invested so much time and energy here in Harris County. And with that, I'd like to introduce some people here that are running for office. Tom Butler, candidate for HD 128. Mark Keller, candidate for Harris County Treasurer. Nate Sheets, candidate for Texas Agricultural Commissioner. Cindy Siegel, your current Harris County Republican Party candidate. I haven't seen him, but I haven't seen the white hair. But Stan Standard, candidate for HD 126. And last but not least, Helen Zhao, candidate for HD 137. With that, I'm going to turn the mic over to Chair Lacy Hull.
Thank you, everybody. And is it too soon to call you judge? Thank you to our next Harris County Judge, Marty Langton. Good afternoon, y'all. I'm Lacy Hull, your state representative running for re-election, and I am proud to be a Texan. There is only one Texas, and Texas is the envy of the world. Yep. Because of our policies, because of our culture, because of who we are, people from all over the world want to live here. And I am proud to partner with Governor Abbott to keep Texas, Texas. Yes. We have seen how the disastrous left policies in places like California, California, Colorado, and New York. We've seen what they have done. And we are fighting back to make sure those policies never come to Texas. One of the ways we fought back this session was by passing bail reform. As you all know, everyone in this room knows, Harris County and the leftist judges created a disaster by releasing violent offenders. And with the help of Governor Abbott, we passed bail reform to say no more violent offenders getting out on basically a pinky promise. And it said you have to stay behind bars instead of out on the streets to reoffend. And with the help of Governor Abbott, we passed school choice.
Yeah.
Families and their children's education. And on top of that, we passed the largest financial investment into public schools in Texas history. And that includes teacher pay raises. And I partnered with your senator, Senator Kolkhorst, and we passed and Governor Abbott signed the strongest MAHA, Make America Healthy Again bill in this nation. Senator Kolkhorst and I each got a call from the Trump administration and said, pass that bill, keep going, the nation needs this. And that's exactly what we did. Texas has become the example because of that bill. Texas has given the White House, the Trump administration, momentum in their effort to make America healthy again. I'm Lacy Hull, and I am so honored to be able to represent my district and Texas, and proud to partner with Governor Abbott and all of my colleagues here today to continue to keep and make Texas the best place to live, work, and raise a family. And now please give it up for your senator, the incredible Senator Lois Kolkhorst.
Thank you so much, She is a terrific force in the Texas House of Representatives, and I enjoy working with her. Hello, Harris County! Let's talk about Harris County, Governor Abbott. So goes Harris County, so goes the state of Texas, and so goes the nation. Harris County, you are the economic engine for the state of Texas and ultimately for the nation. So give it up for yourself. So important. Every one of you engaging as the electorate. Every one of you talking to your neighbors. We're starting early voting today. Get them to the polls. Have them go vote in the Republican primary. And then after that, we come together, and that's where our work really begins. Now, let me give a shout out, Governor Abbott. I'm going to introduce somebody from Brandon, Texas. You know? Her name's Jill Miller Finke. Now, that's Miller with an M-U-E-L-L-E-R, so you know she's from Washington County. And I'm going to tell you about Jill. I walked in here today, and I was talking to all these people, and I was talking to my chief of staff over here, and I look over there, and I go, I think that's Jill Miller from Brandon, Texas. Jill Miller was my second baseman in softball.
Oh, wow.
Let me tell you something about Jill Miller. I was the catcher. Right?
Woo!
Yeah. You know, I wanted to be the leader on that team, and I like to throw people out at second base.
Woo!
Jill Miller was the only one that would stand in there and take my. I mean, that softball was whizzing down there, right? I mean, my son is a pitcher at Baylor now, and so I had an arm, and she would stand in there, and she would make that catch, and she would make that tag, and she knew the fundamentals of hard work. And Jill, you being here today restores my faith in the grassroots, because you're not like all active and everything. I said, how'd you get here? I don't know. Her good friend Jane said, we got a text message. I thought it was like a hoax. And we said, and then we walked in, and Governor, they said, those two seats were there. They go, is this being taken? And they go, no. And she said, Jill Miller and Jane right here on the front row. Give it up for them. Jane, I don't know you, but you live in Bridgeland. And I think you live really close to Senate District 18. And you know what she said to me? How can I help you? I have an opponent in the fall. And Governor, I hear that you do too. And we're going to work really, we're going to work really hard to turn Harris County red. So I want to thank y'all for being here. I know we've got precinct chairs, we've got grassroots all over this place, and we thank you and we love you. And so I'm going to say this. I'm going to follow up on something that Representative Chair Hull said. Texas leads. Yeah. Hey, ladies, I know your moms out there, there's something wrong with our food supply, isn't it?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. Texas stood up and said, hey, Big Food, we're pushing back. We are pushing back. You know what else Texas did? We, for the first time, we're the first state in the nation to require nutrition classes in medical school. That's a novel idea.
Heck yeah.
Hey, these contains ingredients that are banned in other countries. Maybe you should sit up. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to start taking those ingredients out. But I want to talk about how that translates to this man right here, Greg Abbott. There was so much pressure to veto Senate Bill 25. There was so much pressure. And Cindy Siegel, actually, I was at the Harris County, I think Lincoln Reagan dinner, and I walked up to him and I said, hey, Governor, it was still before your veto deadline. I was like, hey, Governor, how do you feel about SB 25? And he just kind of smiles, and I go, I don't like just a smile, I want more. And Governor Abbott said, we're in good shape. And I said, I know how much pressure you're getting. And he says, I stand up, I stand for that pressure. I will be your shield. This is the right thing to do. Wow. And I'm going to segue into one other bill. This guy was like the only guy standing with me when I filed a bill that said that China and Russia and North Korea and Iran should not own our farmland. They should not own our oil and gas. They should not own any part of Texas. Took on so much with me. I told this story in Waller County the other night. I said, I know where I was when he called me. I was sitting outside my hotel room, getting ready to go to my hotel room, and he goes, hey, it's getting a little hot out here, isn't it? And he goes, how are we going to get this bill? And he stood by me all the way. It took us 2 sessions. But he never, ever backed down. And so I want to tell y'all something. You know, John Adams once said, one of my favorite quotes, liberty once lost is liberty lost forever. Yes. And that's the fight. Yes, you can clap for that. That is the fight that we are in, Harris County. That is the fight that we are in. We can no longer be timid and maybe go to the polls or maybe call a friend. We have to tell our story. We have the 8th largest economy in the world, soon to be the 7th. And you know how that happened? It happened under conservative Republican leadership. And I want to tell you that George Soros and people like that want to destroy Texas, because if you destroy Texas, you destroy America, and we will not have it. It starts here in Harris County. Help me welcome the best governor in the United States of America, our leader, our conservative leader, our guy that is going to lead Texas, and my favorite thing, make America Texas. Let's have a large
Howdy, Harris County. I was telling Dr. Oliverson earlier when he talked about how much I've been over here. And listen, I'm actually in Harris County more than I am in Travis County, where I live right now. I'm thinking about trying to re-register to vote over here in Harris County. But you know what? I don't really need to, because here's what I know for a fact. In Harris County, we already have enough Republican voters to win this election here in 2026. We got to do it, and that's why I'm here today. There's a lot of places I can be today, but there's no more important place to be than right here in Harris County, because as these folks have articulated,
We have to win Harris County, Texas, and paint it red in this election. You'll know what I'm about to tell you because you've been here and you lived it, and you've seen socialists take over Harris County and lead to its demise. However, you've also seen the movement that's taken place over the past couple of election cycles, because last election alone, there were 10 Republicans who won Harris County last election. And that's a good start. This election, we want to win from the top of the ballot all the way to the bottom of the ballot, and we will ensure Harris County turns red after this election. I'm going to tell you, it's simpler than what you may think. Let me just quickly explain. There's one thing in Texas that maybe matters more than anything else. There's a one single concept that all of these representatives and others have been talking about. And it can be distilled into this one thing. We must join together and keep Texas, Texas, and not let it be taken over and hijacked by these socialists who are currently governing Harris County, Texas, and voters will want to get rid of the socialists and elect common sense Republicans. In Harris County, they are so tired of your socialist county judge, Lena Hidalgo. It's time to change and elect Marty Langton to be your Lacy Hull was talking about these other judges. These other judges, they ran as socialists, and they judged as socialists, and that's exactly what you see in New York City. It's what you see in California. It's what you see in Chicago. And let me tell you something. We are not going to allow Texas or Harris County to turn into Minnesota or these other crazy places. But the way we do that is we go to the ballot box and we vote not just at the top of the ballot, we vote all the way down the ballot to make sure we have conservative judges. Speaking about law enforcement, speaking about Minnesota, remember just a couple of years ago, we had this defund the police movement that seemed like it began in Minneapolis, and it spread to Houston, it spread to Austin and Dallas and San Antonio and other places across the state. And I said, not under my watch are we going to allow cities to defund their police. And I work to ensure that we passed a law that will defund any city that defunds their police in the state of Texas. In Texas, we support our law enforcement officers. We are never going to be like Minnesota. I can guarantee you that much. So listen, one thing that Senator Kolkhorst talked about, which is hugely important, and that is to protect our state from these foreign adversaries like China, passing that law, the toughest law in America, that denies Chinese or foreign adversaries from buying land in the state of Texas. Along those same lines, listen, there's been something, an uprising, if you would, up in the Dallas area, kind of happening here also in the Houston area, and that is the attempt to expand Islamic Sharia cities. And I want you to know that because of action, the 6 state agencies took, because of action of a law that I signed that they got to my desk, because of a lawsuit filed by the Attorney General, and now we have the HUD department under President Trump, all of us together have eliminated Epic City up in the Dallas area. Epic City realized they were doomed, and they tried to rebrand it, rename it the Meadow, It could be more harmless than the meadow. But our investigation showed that they violated the law when they tried to create the meadow. And so there's a lawsuit by the Attorney General, an investigation by the Housing Authority of the state of Texas, working with the Federal Housing Authority, and we are shutting down the meadow also. And listen, when it comes to securing Texas, especially this time of year, we got to make sure that we are securing the ballot box itself and making sure we protect election integrity.
Yes.
Sure.
That's how you're going to come here.
You see these battles waging in Washington, D.C. about whether or not they're going to pass the SAVE Act or not. We've done all of that in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
I signed a law that you validated in the ballot box where only United States citizens can vote in the elections of the state of Texas. We passed the strongest and toughest voter ID law, including voter ID on mail-in ballots in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
And we made it a crime for anybody engaged in ballot harvesting for anybody else. That is a crime. You will go to jail. We're going to put an end to illegal ballot harvesting, stuffing the ballot box.
Yeah.
Another thing, and by the way, think about the difference between the Democrats and Republicans on that issue. Democrats, they insist on allowing illegal immigrants to be able to vote. That is insane. It must be stopped. And no, it's not just Democrats in California and Washington. Democrats in Texas want to ensure we have more illegal immigrants here. And let me tell you something. No state has done more than any state in America to stop illegal immigration into the United States. In the state of Texas. We're going to continue that effort. We are not backing down. We have 3,000 National Guard on the border right now. We are the only state in American history to build our own border wall. To secure I think it was Lacy, could have been Lois, I can't remember, but one of them talked about what we've done on education reform, on school choice, what the investment we made in public schools. But then there's something else that we did. We needed to invest more, especially in hiring and retaining the best teachers, which is why we gave teachers a $4.4 billion teacher pay raise. But even if we have the best teachers in America, it wouldn't mean a whole lot if we had the worst curriculum in America. And so we took action this past session to clean up our curriculum, and that's why I signed a law banning DEI in the public schools. That's why I signed a law banning boys and girls sports in the state of Texas. To phonics in the classroom and cursive writing. We're going to ensure that our kids in Texas get the best education possible. And let's talk about a couple of items real quick that are burning a hole in the wallets of our fellow Texans, whether it be small businesses, homeowners, or just people trying to get by. For one, we're in a small business today. We realize most businesses in Texas are small businesses. They needed our help, and so what we provided to them was a $125,000 personal property tax exemption on restaurants just like this, so they can make ends meet. There's something else that's driving up the cost of restaurants, of small businesses, of homeowners, of car drivers, and that is the skyrocketing price of insurance. The time is coming to rein in skyrocketing property taxes.
Yes.
And I'm talking about this. I'm not talking about slowing the growth of the increase in insurance. I'm talking about cutting the cost of insurance in half. Other states have done this in the past 2 years. Texas can deliver that for you this next year. And then it comes to the cost of living in your own home. It's become so difficult living in your own home because of skyrocketing property taxes. And I think there's no worse offender in that regard in jacking up your property taxes than the Harris County Commissioner's Court. So let me tell you what we did. Let me tell you what we got to do. What we did this past session is what we did over the past several sessions, and that is we increased your homestead exemption. And what that means is that for the first amount of money that's exempt, you do not have to pay public school property taxes. Instead, the state of Texas will pay for that property tax. When I became governor, there was a $15,000 exemption where you didn't have to pay on your homestead property taxes to your school district. As of what we did this last session, that increased to the first $140,000 of your property. So listen, that's a good start, but I got to tell you something. We got 31 million Texans. Not a single Texan has come up to me and said, Abbott, listen, y'all done a great job on property taxes. Our property tax bill is just fine. Just keep it as it is. Right? No one likes that. Let me tell you something. If we go back to Austin, Texas, and do the same thing over again, and just increase your homestead exemption and expect a different result, that's what you call insanity. That is not going to be tolerated. I put together a plan, talking to people here in Houston and elsewhere, and this is what we got to do. Number one, we have to stop the increase in spending by every property taxing jurisdiction in the state of Texas.
Yes, sir.
Number two, your homestead, you should not have an increase in property taxes without you have the ability to vote on it and have a 2/3 vote requirement before your property taxes can increase. Next is your property tax valuations are going through the roof. And there's a reason for it. It's because current Texas law allows your property tax valuation for property tax purposes to increase 10% a year. That must end, and we must reduce that to no more than just 3% a year. And instead of your property taxes being reevaluated for property tax purposes every single year, your homestead should be reevaluated for property tax purposes only once every 5 years. And then the one that will ensure that your property taxes will be cut by more than half. And that is, you currently pay, the largest part of your property tax bill is going to fund our public schools. Let me tell you something. It should be the state of Texas, not your homestead, funding our public schools. No more gouging your homestead, no more taking and taxing your homestead to fund our public schools. The state of Texas will take over that responsibility and fully fund our public schools. You're going to be able to live in your home in less than half of your property taxes. And listen, when we achieve that, and we achieve these other things we're going to do to make Texas more affordable to live in, let me tell you what's going to happen. Texas may become the most affordable state in the United States of America. Do not be too quick to applaud that, because it's a double-edged sword.
Oh, see, I know some butt.
Because when we are the most affordable state in America, you know what's going to happen? Exactly right. From New York, from California, from Illinois, from every state across America, they're going to be coming here. And the reason I'm your governor is because I've already thought about that. And I have a plan to deal with that. What we're going to do, we're going to stop building that border wall on the southern border, and we're going to build a wall on the northern border. Invaders out. So listen, let's get down to brass tacks. We're here today about more than our speeches. We're here today because today is the first state to vote early. Yeah. We got to understand something. Elections are won not by speeches, not by TV ads, not by mailers. Elections are won by votes. All that matters is votes. We need you to go out and vote today.
Yeah!
Maybe people will listen, I got to go back to work, I got to go take care of my kid. What have you got? You've got 1,000 things to do. But do not put off until tomorrow what you can do today, and we make it very easy for you because here's the deal. The closest voting location to where we are right now is Juergens Hall Community Center. It is just 0.4 miles away, less than a half a mile away. And let me tell you something. I don't think there's a person in this room that I cannot beat in getting down there. This is Houston, so I know it's not uphill. And if I can get down there in 5 minutes and go cast a vote here at my new voter registration location, I know you can too. So before you go to lunch, it's after lunch, but before you do anything else, leave here, go vote, because you're such a good crowd. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to stick around for everyone who makes a solid commitment that you're going to go vote. We're going to stay here and take a picture with everyone who wants a picture. And we're going to ensure that we have photos showing the future. That we gather together here today for a common cause. And that is to keep Texas values. We believe in God over government. We believe in freedom over fear. We believe in the inherent greatness of what it means to be a Texan. Yes. And we agree that we have to fight together to prevent these socialists from taking over the great state of Texas. And we believe in keeping Texas. Together, we're going to get that done. God bless you all, and God bless the great state of Texas. But we got two more speakers here I'm going to introduce. I want to make sure you get to hear from. One is the current comptroller of the state of Texas, Kelly Hancock, and the other is an outstanding candidate for the acclamation, Nate Sheets.
Thank you very much. I'm guessing you're bragging about your new Twitter account, Hot Wheels.
I love it.
I am your comptroller, which is essentially just the chief financial officer for the state of Texas. And yes, thanks to a phone call I got from my good friend Governor Abbott, I get to be responsible for the revenue of the 8th largest, if we were a country, the 8th largest country in the entire world. Pretty phenomenal.
Yes.
And what a phenomenal opportunity. I remember the last opportunity I had, the last phone call I got from him, was when I was named chair of Veteran Affairs and Border Security. Governor Abbott called and said, hey, I'm going down to the border with President Trump on the border wall. Why don't you come join me? And so there I was, joining him with President Trump when the border wall, when we first started, and we were seeing numbers drop thanks to President Trump. Then we had to take over doing the federal government's job. And we spent billions of your tax dollars on doing the federal government's job, but now that I'm the Chief Financial Officer, I get to work with Governor Abbott and President Trump to make sure we get your $11 billion back from the great big beautiful bill that we have been doing and failed to do the entire time we've been on. You know, Governor Abbott didn't put me in here, even though I taught Sunday school for 20 years, he didn't put me in here for my rhetoric. We had important things to do in the office. Glenn Hager went to be Chancellor of Texas A&M, needed to fill the role of running a very large office with a lot of responsibilities that provide transparency and accountability to you because it's your dollars, not ours. He put me in here because he knew we could get results. I've never been a rhetoric guy. Never have. I have been a results guy. All this legislation you've talked about, I certainly voted on it, but either carried it or co-authored it over my term in the Senate and in the House. And so I am about results, not rhetoric. Making sure we get your money back for the money we shouldn't have had to spend protecting our border. Making sure when I got in there that I followed Governor Abbott's lead, getting rid of DEI with our historically underutilized businesses that we were being sued over. And I said, we're not going to fight that. That's not constitutional. HUB programs are simply DEI using different letters, and within the first 60 days I was in office, we got rid of it, not just for our agency when it comes to procurements and contracts, but what we did in our agency spreads across every agency, the first state to get rid of DEI across the board, across the state, in every agency. And you know what I got asked? Well, how do we buy that? Go get best value for the tax dollars. That's what we owe citizens of Texas, to get best value regardless of race or gender, and that's what we did. I had 13 years on a local school board. Before my 6 years in the House and 13 years in the Senate, we fought for years to pass school choice in the state of Texas. Been a supporter for 30 years. We got it passed.
Yes.
We got it passed. And I get the opportunity to implement that program and make sure we do it properly. And we came off, did it with the largest first hour ever of enrollment in any state, the largest first day by any state enrollment of students, and we have crossed over 100,000 students that have already registered in the program. And guess what we did? Before we started the program, I had the staff look into research, and guess what we found? We found we had schools in the state of Texas that were run by folks that are connected to the Chinese Communist Party. We found that we had schools in the state of Texas that had been here, the requirements, the 2 years, and were accredited by accreditation agency that we're not responsible for, that were connected to terrorist organizations. Well, we weren't going to let your tax dollars go to those groups. So they're sitting over here while we've signed up over 2,000 schools that are part of the program, making sure that not a single dollar of your taxpayer dollars go to groups that are friendly or associated with terrorist organizations or those that are enemies to the United States of America, and it's not going to happen, and not on my watch. You know, when the governor asked me, number one, if I wanted to do this job, and if I could, I own a, used to be a small business, mid-sized business now, up in North Texas. And God had just kind of laid it out, that this was in our life. And my wife, who I've known since kindergarten, in our life, it was a perfect time that I could take on this opportunity. And it's a wonderful opportunity for somebody that loves Texas. And he opened up the doors for us to do this. I had no idea when I got into the job. And people asked, what's the thing that surprised you? I'm surprised how much I love the job. And so my name is Kelly Hancock. And I do love this job. And I am about results, not rhetoric. And so what I'm asking you is that when you go vote, that's what you look for. Kelly Hancock, under control. Thank you very much.
Agriculture here. Any farmers, any ranchers, couple? Thank you all very much. All right, over here. All right. We got one. Lois Kolkhorst. Anybody eat food today? Anybody think the food you eat impacts your health?
Yes.
That's why this office matters. I was down in Beaumont last week. I was meeting with a rice farmer, and he told me that he had just sold his crop for 40% less than it actually cost him to make it. You know, we lost 68 farms in Texas this week, and last week, and the week before, and all the way back to 2018, 18,000 farms, because farmers cannot afford to be in business. Their revenues come from 40 cents a dollar of food in 1980 to today, 15 cents. That's their top line revenue, and all their expenses have gone up 300%. And that's why we're losing farms. But at the same time, Americans' health is being impacted by the food that we eat. We've been in pursuit of cheap calories for decades. Calories on the go.
Yep.
But the impact of that is every American, 70% of all Americans have one chronic disease or more. You know, 78% of kids 18 to 25 can't even serve in the military because of their health.
Yeah.
We're spending $1 trillion a year revamping our military. I hope they're drones, because we might have a problem manning the military. But we also spend $4 trillion a year treating symptoms of diseases related to the food we eat. You know, we're paying for those calories. We're paying for those cheap calories, but we're paying for it on the back end in healthcare costs and quality of life. And those two things come together on the farm. If we don't want Muslims to be able to come in and take over farmland and buy farmland, we have to help farmers and ranchers be able to stay in business.
Yes.
The way we keep Texas, Texas, is we keep farmers farming. And because he knows, President Trump said that Governor Abbott is doing an amazing job in Texas, especially at farming and ranching. And that's in spite of the leadership that we've had leading the Texas Department of Agriculture. What Governor Abbott needs is a partner that wants to work with him, that has a vision for a better future for farmers and ranchers, that has a better future for our health. Because now we've taken the food pyramid and turned it upside down, and everything on that food pyramid comes right off the farm and the ranch. This is the golden age of agriculture. We just have to take advantage of it. And that's why I need you to vote for Nate Sheets for Texas Ag Commissioner. Thank you.
I just want to thank Governor Abbott, our newest neighbor. You heard it here. We're glad to welcome you to our district, sir. And we welcome you. We're grateful that you spent some time with us today. I'm going to close this with a quick word of prayer, and then those of you that want to take a picture, remember you got to make a commitment. If you're going to take a picture up here, Jergens Hall that way. Don't be late. Father God, thank you so much for this opportunity to come together and to spend time together in fellowship and encourage one another. Lord, we are so grateful to be blessed to live in a state that you have blessed with freedom, with prosperity, with limited government, with religious liberty. And Lord, I just ask that you give us strength, that you give us courage and boldness, Lord, that as we go out from here, that we proclaim our message of limited government, personal responsibility, economic freedom, and a devotion to your word and to your principles. And Lord, I ask that you be with Governor Abbott and all of the brave elected officials and candidates that are standing behind him, that are fighting to keep Texas free, to keep Texas strong, and to keep Texas prosperous. I ask that you bless us in all that we do today, and ask all these things in your Son Jesus' name. Amen. Go fight.